What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, daily news, everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. We got a lot to talk about. China is backing Russia. That's right. You're not going to believe what Senator Ron Johnson is saying, if you remember him. That's right. Let me know if you remember what he has said previously. Yep, you have a good memory if you remember him. And we're going to be talking about a new $1,000 per month stimulus check program that is now live. That's right, you'll hear it directly here on screen. We got a lot to talk about here today, so let's jump right in. Yeah, China has come out and spoken on behalf of Russia and says that they're basically backing Russia in the standoff with Russia against Ukraine. You remember Russia has over 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine and could be invading Ukraine at any given time. You can see the headline here on Newsweek. China backs Russia against Ukraine and NATO. That's right. China has thrown its considerable political weight behind Russia and President Vladimir Putin's standoff, describing NATO as outdated and calling on the West to consider Moscow's legitimate security concerns. At a press briefing, China's state news service asked the Foreign Ministry's spokesperson about remarks by Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman, who said Russia's demands that the alliance not expand its membership was a non-starter so that Ukraine can not join NATO here at the last minute. Speaking on January 10th, previously after unsuccessful NATO-Russian counter talks in Geneva, Sherman said, quote, "We will not allow anyone to slam closed NATO's open door policy." Russia wants to prevent Ukraine from being able to join NATO at the last minute. In Beijing, Zhao spoke disparagingly of the alliance as a Cold War remnant. He said, as the world's largest military alliance, NATO should abandon the outdated Cold War mentality and ideological bias and do things that are conducive to upholding peace and stability. Quote, China firmly opposes all kinds of small cliques, he added, before calling on parties to fully consider each other's legitimate security concerns, avoid antagonism and confrontation, and properly address differences and disputes through equal consultation on the basis of mutual respect. Beijing's decision to take a side publicly comes as some 100,000 Russian troops in heavy armor are amassed on Ukraine's eastern border. Moscow says it does not intend to invade, but I guess they just have those troops sitting there for, I don't know, tea and crumpets, some Russian bread and jam. I don't know. You tell me. But you can kind of see here zoom this in here a little bit. You can kind of see the military imbalance here. The red numbers here is the amount of Russian troops, and the yellow numbers in this kind of little graph is the amount of Ukraine troops. So Ukraine has about 200,000 personnel troops, humans. Russia has 850,000. And then when you look at like aircraft, Russia has 4,173. Ukraine has only 318. Naval fleet, Russia has 605. Ukraine has 38. Yeah, it's a huge disparity when you look at this. Fighter aircraft, Russia has 772. Ukraine has 69. It's a major, major difference. So if this actually happens, Ukraine really doesn't stand a chance. The question is that you know, Ukraine is considered a NATO ally and thereby considered a U.S. ally per se, and that's why you could see here the U.S. has sent a couple shipments of military equipment and munitions and supplies to Ukraine, and NATO potentially could be sending troops that not in Ukraine, Biden says, but who knows what will happen here. You can let me know your thoughts here. Who knows what this will escalate to? And if this does escalate to something larger, will China side with Russia? And will this become, who knows, World War III? I mean, let's hope that this doesn't even start anything like that. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Okay, next up, here's a little as we're starting to get closer to the midterm elections, which will be later this year in November, a lot of senators and representatives are already starting to vie against their political opponents on who they might be going against. And Senator Ron Johnson, a Republican, is up for re-election this year. Remember, only about 1/3 of senators are up for re-election because senators serve 6-year terms and they kind of go in rotation. So only about 1/3 of senators are up for re-election every 2 years. Republican Senator Ron Johnson is one of them. Listen to a couple things he said, and then I'll show you what he said previously, if you remember him.
Well, tonight there's something that should be a way bigger gaffe than that, and it comes from a politician who also is in one of the most hotly contested Senate races this year in a purple state that Joe Biden won in 2020. On Tuesday, Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin told a local news station he supports a reduction in unemployment benefits, and while he's explaining why he does not think the government should help families find childcare, he said this.
People decide to have families and become parents. That's something they need to consider when they make that choice. I've never really felt it was society's responsibility to take care of other people's children.
Now, Ron Johnson says all sorts of crazy stuff. We'll have more soon about his vaccine comments. But coming out against the children of other people, this is something he's rock solid on.
Parents are responsible for their children, gaining greater control over families. I think it's pretty basic. I don't see anything controversial about that. We're $29 trillion in debt. I think the last thing we should be talking about is having government spend more money.
Not a mistake. An honest articulation of Ron Johnson's views. If you have a kid, it's your own fault. Just deal with it. And to every parent in Wisconsin, across lines of race and class, who is struggling with the difficulties of this pandemic, juggling everything, know that the message of your Republican Senator Ron Johnson, who is up for re-election in November, is you are on your own. So suck it up, Buttercup.
Now, if you remember Senator Ron Johnson, who is a Republican senator from Wisconsin who is up for re-election this November, he has blocked previous stimulus checks twice. In fact, if you remember, he blocked a previous $1,200 stimulus check that never materialized. This was actually led by Senator Bernie Sanders, a bipartisan stimulus check, and Republican Senator Josh Hawley. If you remember this was previously back when former President Donald Trump was a senator. Republican Senator Josh Hawley and Bernie Sanders led a charge for a $1,200 stimulus check that never happened. It would have bipartisan support from a Republican senator and Bernie Sanders, and had a lot of push for it. And Ron Johnson single-handedly blocked it by standing up in the Senate and saying, I object, when they needed unanimous support to pass this in the Senate. He was the only senator that stood up and blocked this. You could see this headline here from Politico. Ron Johnson twice blocks COVID stimulus checks. His quote says here, I don't know if you can see this, it says, quote, I'm not heartless. I want to help people. I voted to help people. So this is how he is campaigning by basically saying everybody's on their own, no stimulus checks, no child tax credits, no support for anybody. Everybody's on their own. But his quote says, I'm not heartless. I want to help people. I voted to help people. uh, can't make this stuff up, guys. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. But this is kind of what we're dealing with. I mean, we have some people who they say they want to help the people, but when it comes time to it, they say, nope, not voting for that. Nope, not voting for that. Help for seniors? Nope, not voting for that. Help for children? Nope, not voting for that. Food assistance? Nope, not voting for that. More money for SNAP assistance for our state? Nope, not voting for that. And, I just did a video yesterday for SNAP assistance, pandemic EBC assistance, what states are getting more SNAP money, what state are getting extra bonuses on food assistance. And I always get this question is like, why isn't my state getting this? Why isn't this state getting this? Why isn't that state getting this? Honestly, you have to talk to who your governor is and who your elected officials are. And honestly, that's what it comes down to. And if your governor doesn't want to spend the money, that's a lot of what it comes down to. And again, I'm not alluding to any one specific state because there's several states doing this, and that's why I'm not choosing sides here. I'm not saying, oh, it's this Democratic guy or this Republican guy or anything like that, because I mean, I don't know what state you're specifically from, and I'm not singling out anybody here in specific. But you gotta, at some point, you gotta say it's this particular person or that particular person or somebody like that, because voting is going to come here this November for our nation here. The House and Senate are up for re-election, and if you don't think the Democrats are doing a good job, or if you don't think the Republicans are doing a good job, or if you don't think one specific person is doing a good job, or if you don't think one specific senator is doing a good job, if you don't think Joe Manchin's doing a good job, if you don't think a Republican's doing a good job. If Joe Manchin's not up for re-election this year, but I'm just saying, if you don't think a Democrat's doing a good job, or if you don't think a Republican's doing a good job, again, I'm not from either party, so I can kind of shoot it straight, right, directly from from the holster, right? Talk with your vote. Talk with your vote. I have no party allegiance from either side, so I'll just shoot it directly here from you. If you don't think your governor's doing a good job, don't vote for him. Vote for somebody new. If you don't think a specific party's doing a good job, vote for somebody new. Let your voice be heard. I'm here as a voice for you guys. I see your guys' struggles every single day. I see your guys' comments here. I am a voice for you guys on YouTube. I see that a large population of our people need help. 25% of Americans are behind and struggling to pay their bills. That's like 70 or 80 million people right now. And thankfully, we do have a lot of stimulus programs going on. We have all these SNAP additional benefits. We have pandemic EBT benefits. We have universal basic income programs. We hopefully will see the child tax credits extended. Maybe. Hopefully, we will see another stimulus check this year. We have all these different programs, right? We just had over $100 million just approved for utility assistance. If you didn't watch that video, you definitely need to watch that video. I'll link you to that here at the end of this video. But we do have all these different type of programs being approved, and each state got over $1 billion from the third stimulus check package. Okay, so states have all this money. So a lot of states are using this money for food assistance, SNAP assistance, and pandemic EBT assistance, which is for school like lunch programs where they help pay for money for food for students, for the children. So a lot of states are giving money for that, and honestly, I think a lot needs to be done this year before the elections, or else the Democrats are really going to suffer. And hopefully, Joe Manchin steps to the plate and doesn't make his own party suffer, or else they're going to suffer. But on the other hand, the Republicans can't just really sit back and just say, well, we're not going to do anything, because, I mean, honestly, their whole party's got to do something as well. You can't just say, all right, we'll just have the Democrats do everything for the people. And if they don't do anything, we win by default. Because if the Republicans just vote no on every single bill for the people, well, they're not helping the people either, right? So this is kind of the decision that like I would make going into voting, being an independent. I consider myself a realist because I vote as a real person. I look at things in a realistic point of view. I don't vote for somebody because they're a Republican. I don't vote for somebody because they're a Democrat. I vote for somebody on their values. I vote for somebody on what they believe in. I vote for somebody on what they campaign on, and if I believe them and what they stand for, not because they're a Democrat or Republican. That's just who I am. That's just what I stand for. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Meanwhile, as we start to see more and more help across the country, another $1,000 per month program is starting right now. Check this out.
One of the first programs of its kind in the country, a basic income program for families impacted by the pandemic and living in poverty, is officially underway in Los Angeles. Coco McAvoy joining us live to explain how this all works. Coco?
Good evening. Around 3,000 families were selected for the program, and the first $1,000 payments kicked in today. We spoke with two moms who say the program is a blessing.
Your funds will be loaded on the 25th, on time, around the clock, every month.
Dejanay Marcella and her 7-year-old daughter, Rosalinda, are overjoyed after being selected for the basic income program in Los Angeles, known as Big Leap.
I felt like a big weight got lifted off of my shoulders, and I started to get emotional. I did, because I just started to think of everything that I could take care of now, and for little Rosalinda.
Marcella was laid off from her job during the pandemic and has since struggled to find a work-from-home job.
I'm afraid to send my daughter to school with everything going on, and even though I know the schools are safe, but me as a mom, this is my only child, I can't. So I'm like, no, stay home with me, we're homeschooling.
But on Tuesday, Marcella received her first $1,000 payment. The pilot program will continue giving $1,000 each month to families who qualified for 1 year. Qualifications included hardship from COVID, having at least one child, and an income at or below the federal poverty line. For Marcella, it means
the main goal is to make sure we have enough food in the house to carry us on to the next month.
And the two immediately bought groceries and made a celebratory meal. But Rosalinda still has bigger goals, expressing her plan.
Why?
Because we're going to get a new house.
Oh, and that's what's on her mind.
3,200 families in Los Angeles are benefiting from the program, including Yolanda, a mom of 4 daughters.
I thought I was blessed. I thought that, okay, thank you, Lord.
Yolanda plans to use the extra funds each month to go back to school.
For my family, I'm going to definitely make it happen. If that means working more hours at work, whatever it means doing. And that's another reason I'm kind of furthering my education, because, the more you know, the further you go and the more you make.
The program is spearheaded by Councilmember Curran Price, whose office partially funded it.
It's going to really be a lifeline, and it really is an opportunity for individuals to move beyond poverty, we hope. We think it's going to be a grand experiment, the largest one in our country so far.
And it gives families a much-needed boost during a difficult time.
Such a blessing. It gives us a reminder.
The application process for the program ended late last year. Reporting live this evening, I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.
So this program in Los Angeles provides $1,000 monthly checks to 3,200 families in Los Angeles. That's basically $12,000 per year, $12,000 for a year. Hey, that's a lot of money. That's like a $12,000 stimulus check to 3,200 people in Los Angeles. That is amazing. This is just another universal basic income program that we see here. It feels like literally every few days or every week we have another program like this going into effect or opening up eligibility here across the United States. I will keep you up to date here as we start to see more and more of these, as well as universal basic income. We're seeing stimulus check programs, which are kind of the same thing on the state basis, city basic, county basis, as well as federal programs here, and all sorts of other stimulus type programs here on the channel. I'll keep you up to date here. So make sure to click the subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free to do so. I will keep you up to date here with everything. You can click this video here to see my new video about SNAP and pandemic EBT new benefits going out here right now. And this video is about $100 million in new stimulus money that was just approved that you can claim your piece of here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.